Hi Emerson families, this is Miss Gara. I'm a guide in primary at Emerson. This is going to be the math introduction part 2 of preparing materials. If you have not watched the first introduction video for primary math, I suggest that you wait to watch this until after you've watched the first video. Now for this video, to finish up preparing our materials, you're going to have a few things with you before we begin. You will have the double bead bar. You will have the numbers 1 through 10 cut out and ready. You will have a bottle of glue and markers or colored pencils to do this work. Now, this is a preparation, so this isn't a lesson. So this is for parents or children that can prepare their own materials. So the colors that you need in markers or colored pencils are orange, which is what I'm going to use for gold because it was really hard to get gold to everyone in their packet. So we're going to use orange to substitute for gold on the 10 bar. You also need yellow, brown, purple, green, pink, dark blue, and light blue, which I'm just using one blue and I'm going to color it in dark for dark blue and then color it in light for light blue. And then you also need red. So I'm going to put this video down so you can see the work that's on the floor, and I will show you what we need to prepare after that. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you also need scissors. So if you need to gather all those materials, please do so now, pause the video, and then come back and push play. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut the double bead bar in half. Now I'm going to fold it to give myself a crease and then cut down the middle. Now one of these I'm going to set aside with all of my materials inside my orange cover because this is what your child is going to do at a later time. Now this one we're going to prepare for your child in a later activity. The reason why we're having to prepare so many materials is because since we have such hands-on materials that need to be worked with in person, we wanted to make sure that you have enough paper materials that copies what the actual material is in the classroom. So what we will be making today is called the bead stair. It's how we teach linear math. It's also how we teach numeration from 0 to 10. So you will see those in both of the areas that we work in math for primary. Now let me show you what the bead bar looks like in actual life. Let me try to get it without spilling it over. So this is what we're mimicking on paper. One bar is red. The 2 bar is green. Now I'm just going to start coloring one end of each one down, and then you can pause to finish and then push play again. The 3 bar is pink. The 4 bar is yellow. The 5 bar is light blue. So I'm just going to barely shade it in to where it looks like a light blue. 6 bar is purple. Seven bar is white, so I'm not going to color that anything since the beads are already white. The next bar, the 8 bar, is brown. The 9 bar is dark blue. So I'm going to take my blue colored pencil and I'm just going to push it in dark. And then the 10 bar is normally gold, but we're going to use orange. Okay, so now I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to let everyone finish coloring and then push play after that. So after you're finished, it should look just like this. The shading may be a little bit different depending on what brands of markers or colored pencils or crayons that you have at home. Using any of those is fine for this activity, markers, crayons, or colored pencils. It just depends what you have available or what came in your pocket that we're going to provide through the school. The next thing you're also going to need is your scissors, because we're going to cut this out and set it aside for an activity later. I'm going to first cut all the way around the triangle to make an outline with my scissors. I'm going to snip this little corner off. Just like that. Now, after I have this cut out, I'm going to cut it in strips between each bar so they're separate, just like our actual bead bar. All right, now you can set those aside for an activity later. Pause the video if you want to, and then push play, and we'll move on to the next preparation. Now, after you're done bagging up the bead stair, you're going to get out the numbers we have cut out, that's 1 to 10, and a bottle of glue. We're going to prepare this material for an activity that your children will do in one of the first part of the math primary lessons. So this will be a material that they put their hands on before any of them. So the glue takes a little bit to dry, just about a day. So please make sure that it's completely dry before your children are touching it. We are going to use it to outline the numbers so they can use their fingers to fill the outline of the numbers. This helps with motor memory in their mind, that when they trace it with their fingers, after they do it for so long, their motor memory automatically knows how to write the numbers. So we're going to do some practicing on tracing numbers with our fingers. One. Now on the 1, it's okay if you just want to do one strip of glue all the way down. The numbers, when they were printed off, they didn't necessarily do it the exact way that our sandpaper numbers are. So the 1 is okay just to do one strip of glue through. Now, after you finish tracing all these numbers, you can go ahead and push play again, but I'm going to push pause so you can finish tracing and I can finish tracing with glue. All right, after you have traced all of your numbers, you're going to let them dry. This will be one of the first activities the children do. I'll show you mine. I have them laid out drying. So after you have watched the math introduction, the first video, and then you've watched this one, which is part 2 of math introduction material preparation, you're going to move on to the next lesson in the math sequence for primary, which is going to be sandpaper numbers lesson. Bye. See you again.